at the Landlord Law Conference, and one of the great things about coming out and about is that we get to meet people that we've only ever met online, and that applies to my next guest. It's Serena Thompson, aka HMO Landlady.
Hello.
So welcome, Serena.
Thank you.
Now, where do we start with you? Because you're published author.
Thank
HMO
you.
Landlady.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about your life with HMOs.
Well, I started about 7 years ago, and it is a story that a lot of people are very familiar with. It was never a strategic idea. It was something I fell into. I really enjoy it. I enjoy it probably more from the human interest stories as opposed to making lots of money. I reckon that if I was a good landlord, I'd be making lots more money than I actually do at the moment. I believe in giving everybody a chance. I believe that there's a huge market for HMOs, and it's a very important part of the new renting world. I think they're going to become increasingly more important to the rental community. And well run, they're brilliant for landlords. There is a lack of information out there about them. They're not rocket science, they're not difficult to do, but they do take a bit of commitment and a bit of hard work. They take a lot of people skills so that you can understand the type of tenant that you're getting in. You can pick and choose from a huge market, from professionals all the way down to people who are near homeless. So I think that's become very different. And if you have the skills that you can bring to it, it is very rewarding financially as well. And I just believe that it's not a strategy that's going to go away very soon. So yes, I think more people should do HMOs. I think that you need to enjoy it, take it with a certain sense of humour, as some of the stories you wouldn't be able to make up. Expect the unexpected, and be prepared to invest in them, keep them looking good, and you will have tenants for the rest of your life.
Indeed. I mean, there does seem to be a trend of a lot of courses teaching HMOs and so on. I personally don't believe it's a good strategy for a novice landlord. I think it's a great strategy for a professional landlord who is running it as a business and understands all the many legal obligations of being an HMO owner. What's your view on that?
Absolutely. I was a member of the National Landlords Association, which is where I initially got a lot of my information from. However, a lot of the legal stuff applies to single units such as flats and houses, but also to HMOs, and sometimes that's not quite practical, especially if there's a problem and you're sharing the same front door with the person who's making the complaint. Therefore, Tessa from Landlord Law is actually going to be running an HMO course, and she will have the legal side in the morning and then the practical side run by me in the afternoon. And we're going to be doing that, I think, in about the next 6 weeks. This is because, you're right, I do believe it should be an experienced landlord. You need to know your legal stuff. You would hopefully never have to get to court eviction or court orders. You don't want to let it go that far. This is why it's so important to be personable and to know your tenants. Because when you're running an HMO, you don't just give them the keys and leave them to it. You are shaping a house. You're putting in personalities who you think are likely to get on together. And the more that you can put a bit of effort into doing that, the quieter your life will be in the long run. So, for example, I have a house where I'll take a risk on someone, a few ex-prisoners, a couple of people have had problems with all sorts of things. Maybe there's ex-addicts, I've got one ex-alcoholic. And in there I'll take a little bit more of a risk. So what I've done to mitigate any of the problems is to put CCTV in. Right. Because rather than an incident happening and I get 6 different versions, I can now go to the CCTV, work out exactly what's happened, show the perpetrator what's happened, and it's all done and dusted. And we don't have to worry. We can then talk about, I'm not going to go to court with any of them. We have a good enough relationship and understanding that I'll just tell them off, tell them why not to do it. They'll I'll promise never to do it again. And it is like having some middle-aged children. But there's a lot of loyalty between both of us. So again, serving a Section 21, of course it's needed if you really want to get rid of someone. But even then, we rarely ever get to that level. I will just sit down and be very honest with someone and say, I don't think it's working out for you here for this reason and that reason. And that's the other thing. As an HMO landlord, you must be honest, not only with yourself but with your tenants, because some of them have had such chaotic lifestyles, they've been lied to all the time.
Yep.
So you have to be honest with them, and if you do that, you'll be rewarded with honesty and loyalty back, and they will become your best tenants.
No, I totally agree with that as well. So your book, HMO Sussed.
Renting HMO Sussed.
Yes, and it's available from the Property Bookshop.
Yes.
And there's also an online podcast with you as well that Jane Owen did.
Yes.
So we'll pop the links to Serena's book and her interview with Jane Owen below this video. But it's been wonderful talking to you. I feel your passion and you're so knowledgeable. And it's great to have you, somebody flying the flag for really ethical HMOs.
I am trying, and I would like to do a lot more with ex-prisoners and ex-addicts, teaching them how to be a good tenant, and then allowing them to move on and into their own places. So that's my dream. So if anybody has a spare £250,000 and they want to invest it in a building, then contact me, because I would like to teach them how to cook, how to budget, how to do all sorts of things, and how to get a job or do voluntary work, and then they can move on and go to the next stage of their lives, allowing a place for other people to come through.
Absolutely. Well, perhaps we can open up this thread to that topic of helping people in distressed circumstances, and perhaps you'd be willing to come and answer any questions if they arise.
Of course.
Oh, it's lovely talking to you.
Thanks.